If you have a small engine that starts by a rope, you're going to have this problem. Hey, it's Kurt Curtis at Full Octane Garage, and I'm sure at one time or another, if you have a small engine that starts by a rope, you're going to have this problem. So, we bought this brand new STIHL MS180C from Ace Hardware in Nolensville, Tennessee, probably 4 or 5 months ago. And it was sold to me with the Easy Start system, which means that you didn't have to pull the rope as hard. It kind of has a little extra spring in there. Now the problem we ran into is, used it half a dozen times, not a whole lot, and one pull and the string came out. So I thought, first off, well heck, is this a warranty item? So I took it back to the STIHL dealer. Again, it's the Ace Hardware in Nolensville, Tennessee, Nolensville Road in Nolensville, Tennessee. And when I bought the unit, he was touting that they were the oldest STIHL dealership in all of Tennessee, and that they had the greatest selection, the greatest service, greatest support. So I bought a unit. Probably paid a little bit more than I should have. Probably could have got it cheaper elsewhere, but I wanted to support a local business. They've been around an awful long time. The owner seemed really nice. Until I go to take it in to see if it's got a warranty on it. It does have a warranty, but broken ropes are not covered under warranty according to them. So then I proceeded to ask, well, how much is it, or when can I get it fixed? And he said the cost should be about $27 to fix it, which seemed fair, but he said he's backlogged for 2 solid months. And I'm thinking to myself, I bought this from you, and you're now telling me that you can't support me, and it's the season when I need to be cutting some stuff. So I proceeded to take the saw out and decided to try to fix this myself, because I'm not going to wait 2 months. The $27 was not a big deal. I did find another place, another Ace Hardware in Chapel Hill, Tennessee, that could have done it in 2 weeks. But again, I'm not in a great hurry, but I figured I'd give this thing a shot myself. The only tool I understand it's going to take is obviously a rope and a T27 Torx, and there's 4 screws here that we're going to take off, and let's get right to it. All right, so we also have to take this cover off, screw that holds the chain brake off. Now, by the way, I also did ask him if I could do this myself, and he's like, oh, I don't think so. I wouldn't attempt it yourself. There's a big spring in there, and you just don't know what's going on, so don't attempt it yourself. But wait 2 months for me. So again, I'm not real happy with my dealer. Now, this whole cover assembly will come off. You're going to have to remove your gas cap and I believe your oil cap. All of these screws may come out the same size, but I'm going to monitor where they came from and put them back in the same spot. Now, from what I've seen, this should be probably a 10-minute job at most. Okay. As I suspected, we are going to have to remove these from the tank. There we go. The guy comes out like that. Oil should do the same thing. All right. So now all we're going to do is lift the assembly back off. There goes my other screw, which is fine. Now what we're going to have to do is take the clip off, holding the mechanism in, and remember how you did it. So these go in, take these off, go. All right, we're going to take our rope and we're going to try to get a very clean cut. As clean as we possibly can. We're going to fish the rope back through the hole of the weed whacker or chainsaw. Then we're going to take our disc and find the location where we will kind of wet that up a little bit, try to get it in the hole. And once it starts coming through, then you can take a little pick and pull it up little by little. There we go. And you're going to want to tie the tightest knot that you possibly can on the end of this. You don't want it coming out. This will pull back through and stuff in. Actually, you can probably clean the end of this up just a little bit. Okay, you're going to want that rope totally out of the disc. You're going to drop the disc on top of the spring. You're going to wind this thing clockwise. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep pulling this rope around in a clockwise fashion until the spring tension cannot be wound anymore. And your rope's going to try to do some finagling. This is not going to be an easy job. You'll see your rope's going to try to be tangling up, so you kind of got to untangle it. Okay, so we've got it with some good tension now. So now what we're going to do is continuing to assemble the rest of the contraption in the way that we took it apart. Has two dowels that go down in it, so it'll be pretty apparent how it's going. Now we're going to put the washer back on. We're going to put these arms back in the direction that they came out. And then we're going to put this retaining ring back on. And the retaining ring does fit on these little dowels, so we've got to make sure that we get it in the right direction. Okay, now when we pull, you'll see the two little fingers are going out. So when we put this back on, we should be set to go. Reassemble it in the fashion that you took it apart, and we'll come back and test it in a couple of minutes. Okay, it turns out these got little half moons. You just kind of drop them back in the tank. And we'll put the cover back on. And then let's pull it. Okay, it looks like we got it fixed. So, took about 10 minutes, a little bit of a pain in the butt getting the spring tightened up right, but for the most part, it's pretty simple. Saved you a few bucks and a trip to the store. Thanks for being with us at the Full Octane Garage. Don't forget to like and subscribe and tell your friends about all the cool content we're going to have coming up.